Hello and welcome. So today I wanted to talk about the differences playing a free-to-play V0 player versus playing as a whale. So I've played three different dress-up gotcha games, and in each game I've played at a different pay tier. In Love Nikki, I quit playing when I was V11, so I was a dolphin in Love Nikki. Here in Shining Nikki, of course, I'm playing as a whale, and in Life Makeover, I'm playing V0 free to play. I haven't spent any money. So I want to talk about three things. The first thing I want to talk about is the ecosystem between the different players of the different pay levels and how it's very symbiotic. The second thing I want to talk about is what is available to you as a free to play player using Life Makeover as an example. The third thing I want to talk about is my experience in the last year as a whale. In particular, I want to answer two questions, and that is, having played the different pay tiers for my personalities, because it's very personal to each person, but for my personality, where do I feel most comfortable? And second, do I regret the money that I've spent the last year in Shining Nikki? All right, so we're going to start with the ecosystem. In my last video, I said that I am free to play in Life Makeover and I'm being carried by the whales, and that's not actually correct, because the whales are also being carried by the free-to-play players, and that's because it's a very symbiotic ecosystem within the community of the play of the gotcha games. So it's easy to see what the paying players do, because these games cost hundreds of thousands to develop. You have to pay the artists, you have to pay the programs, you have to pay the administrators. There's just, everybody has to be paid. On top of that, the company has to make a profit. They also need money that they can funnel into their next project, their next game. So if the company does not get paid, it goes bankrupt, and that's the end of the game. And that's where the paying players are very important. What's also necessary to the health of mobile games is a large, robust, energetic, excited, healthy community. And that's where the free-to-play and low-paying players are super, super important. And the gaming companies know this. They go out of their way to attract and retain free-to-play and low-paying players by giving large portions of the game away for free. They know that when a community dwindles, when the player base dwindles and starts to disappear, the game itself dies. You have to have a very large and very healthy player base. So everybody, when you go up the tiers from free to play all the way up through minnow, dolphin, whale, even leviathan, everybody is necessary to the health of the mobile game. It's very symbiotic, and everybody's important, and we all rely on each other to have this game available so that we all love and play. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is what is available to you as free to play. You don't actually need to pay any money if you don't want to. I think it's really important to understand that, because the companies do go out of their way, like I said, to attract and retain a large free to play and low-paying player base. And so a good, 65, 70% of the games are available for free. And to illustrate that, we're going to go look at Life Makeover. Before I can show you what is available to you as free to play, I want to show you pictures of what you cannot get, because I don't have those assets or those suits in game, because I'm free to play. So we're going to look at pictures. So let's go look at some pictures. So one of the cool things about Global, Shining Nikki Global, is that we're behind the other servers. So we get to peek into the future and see what suits are available. That we don't know when those paths will be coming, but we know they exist. And so people, free-to-play and low-paying players, can make their wish lists, and they can strategize how to use their gems and skip what they're not excited about in order to have the gems available to pull for the suits and the paths when they show up, but this with the suits that they just love. And hopefully it'll be the same if, fingers crossed, if we get a Life Makeover Global. We're going to be behind the Asian servers. Right now, of course, there's the Malaysian, Singapore server. They're actively working on the Japanese server, and I think they're also working on an SEA server. So the Asian servers are going to be out before us. So once again, once Global comes out, hopefully, if it does come out, I really hope it does, then we can peek into the future as free-to-play and low-paying players and strategize how to use our gems. So this is the first limited time Pav. I got a couple of pieces from it, but of course I didn't get the dress. This was from the second limited time Pav. Once again, I got a few pieces, not the dress. This is our current limited time Pav. And just like Shiny Nikki, it'd be the same thing. You would look at what paths are available in the game and then strategize. What am I going to skip so that when what I love shows up, I can pull for that. I'll have the gems available to pull for that. All right, so let's now go to the game and look what is available to free-to-play players. All right, before I get into other areas of the game, I want to really quickly wrap up paths. So Light Chase in the bottom right-hand corner is the Pavilion. This is our current limited time path. We have 3 permanent paths. 2 of them are diamond paths and 1's a gold path. So just like in Shining Nikki, this is one of the permanent diamond paths. You will eventually get these beautiful suits out of here, and they are just stunning. But it will take a long time, like a year to 2 years, to slowly have the pieces drop out of the diamond paths. So these 2 permanent diamond paths, you do eventually get the suit pieces. It just takes a very long time. But we play the game for a long time. That's, you know, many of us do, not all of us, but many of us do play these games over a long period of time. So the permanent path, you will get these suits slowly, like a slow drip. All right, so there's 4 areas of the game that I want to talk about as free to play. What's available to you is free to play. So I want to look at the suits, then we're going to look at the home feature, then I want to talk about our avatar, and we're going to wrap up with the allies. The allies are Life Makeover's version of Reflections. All right, let's start with the suits. Let's go into wardrobe. And let's go to set. So as free to play, you are given 6 slots to make outfits. I'm going to start with the outfits that I've made with the suit pieces and also the individual drop pieces. So these are just outfits that I've made as free to play. These first 6 slots. Okay, and now we're going to actually get into the suits that are available as free to play. Also, I'd like to mention this game is young. It's only 2 months old. So this is what I've managed to gather and collect as free to play in 2 months. These suits will come from one of 4 sources. They'll either drop out of a path, or there'll be a welfare. Like this is our current welfare right now. It's so beautiful. I love it. This one dropped out of a path. This one actually dropped out of the first limited time path. I managed to collect the whole suit. Welfare, or they will be a crafting suit. There are so many crafting suits. Oh my gosh. Tons of crafting suits. Or you will get them with currency, like arena currency, you know, arena coins or guild coins. Each one of the different areas of the game has a different currency, and they have suits that you can purchase in those areas. There are some beginner gifts. For example, I believe this was a beginner gift right here. So this is all free to play. This one was guild coins, talking about getting out of various areas in the game. I'm changing the hair because now the hair's not going to change. See, the guild coin one her hair didn't change. Neither does this one. So anyways, what was the 4th one? I should have written it down. It was different areas of the game with their coins, paths, crafting. Did I say welfare? That's everything. Okay, that's the 4 areas. This is all free to play in 2 months. Now, of course, when the game first launches, they really come play our game, come play our game. They give you tons of stuff, right, when you first start playing. But they are very generous with the welfares. I showed you that current welfare. Did we already pass the summer welfare? Yeah, right here. Oh my gosh. That was the summer welfare. So pretty. I love it so much. All right, let's keep going. This was a crafting suit. I think this came out of the diamond path. I just completed this suit. It was a 4-star suit that dropped out of the diamond path. Of course, the 6-star suits out of the diamond paths are the most difficult to complete. And as you see, you get lots of stuff to play with. This game as free to play is so enjoyable. And you're right, you don't get those stunning dresses. You will have to save and decide. But this one's still beautiful. This is as you level up, this is a level up gift. A level up suit. But anyways, oh, this is guild coins. Yeah, this is a guild suit. That's the other guild suit right now. You'll have to decide what to skip and what to save for to get those really stunning suits out of the limited time paths, just like in Shining Nikki. But you are still, okay, this is getting in the way. You still get tons of stuff to play with. So much really beautiful things to play with. I want to go really quickly into the dyes. Let's put her back in her. I just love what it is I love the current welfare so much. So we'll do the current welfare. All right, so I want to talk about the dyes just super quickly because the dyes are so important to this game. They are a huge creative aspect of this game. Really quickly, if you're wondering which is better, Life Makeover or Shining Nikki, the answer to that is I can't answer that. It was such a personal choice. I know that from reading Discord and the debates. Some players are like, oh, I love Shining Nikki better, and others are like, oh no, I love Life Makeover better, and then everything in between. It depends on your aesthetic. It depends on what gameplay you enjoy. So I can't say this one or that one is better. It really is a personal choice. It depends on what you like. So, but let's talk about the dyes because, like I said, that's a very huge part of the creative gameplay of Life Makeover. So, you see, this is one of the 6-star ones that I have. To get you have to unlock the different dye palettes. That's not a good example. Let's do this one. All right, there we go. See in the bottom right? They're the mats that you need to unlock the different palettes. And the more rare and you can dye all the things. I'm just using hair, but you can dye anything. The more rare the pieces, the suit pieces, hair, dress, shoes, whatever, the mat that is needed to unlock the palettes is much more difficult to get. So to unlock a 6-star suit piece, to unlock that palette to dye it is much more difficult, and as free to play, harder to get. But there are plenty of I'll show you 2 of my favorites. Because I love messy buns. Who doesn't love a messy bun? And then I love these pigtails. So for example, if you go to go look at dye, I've got these all unlocked. And that's because it's just 4-star and 4-star. The mats you need to unlock a 4-star suit piece are much easier to come by. However, I have learned the hard way, you do run out of stuff. So don't just go unlock everything. Unlock the stuff that you love and unlock the colors that you love. Unlock slowly. But as you can see, this is a huge part of the creativity of the game. Let's go look at another suit I have that I've dyed. Not suit, an outfit. So I have dyed this outfit, and that's because if you look at the thumbnail, you can see it's blue and white, the little thumbnail, whereas the outfit's black and white, and that's because I dyed her I have a black and white Alice theme going on, and so I dyed her outfit black and white. If we go to dye, it's going to tell me you got to pick something. Let's pick the dress. And as you see, I unlocked quite a bit on this, and so you can change different aspects of the dress. This is all free to play. I'm going to remind you that I'm free to play. So my point is, yeah, you don't have access to those beautiful dresses, those fancy, lovely dresses. You'll have access to some of them. You'll have to skip some and save some of your gems for some of the ones you love. You won't have access to all the dyes, but you'll still have access to a lot of stuff, and it'll still be super fun. I'm having a lot of fun playing free to play. I do not want to save that dye. All right, so that's the suits and the dyeing. The next thing I want to talk about is the home feature. As free to play, once again, the game's it's young. It's only been open for 2 months. So let's go into the home, bottom left. So you need chestnuts. That is the currency for the home feature. I freaking love the home feature, but I have like 12 or 1300 hours on Animal Crossing New Horizons, I love to build. Now this is I love this one so much. This is I told you I had an Alice. Y'all, if anybody's watched the home thing, you've seen this Alice thing. So this is my Alice build. It's on the beginner lot. And if you look at the top, you'll see how many chestnuts I have right now. I have 88,000 chestnuts. Also, besides having 88,000, having collected these chestnuts, if we go to services and we go to my properties, as free to play, I have managed to buy 2 properties. If I had saved, instead of buying 2 properties and building, if I had saved, I could have either already bought or been close to buying this mansion. But I didn't save. I've been goofing around and I bought 2 properties. But as free to play, had you been saving, you'd be nearing being able to afford the mansion. But instead, I chose to have 2 properties. The other thing I am going to do, let's go to my other property. And so I'm not very fond of this house. This is the house that came on the property. The only thing I did is I changed it to brick. So it would match the other. Let's put the walls up. So this came, I didn't change much other than I changed it to brick so it would match the neighborhood. But I'm not too fond of it. So my plan is you can demolish, it's called demolish. I can demolish this house and I recoup all of the chestnuts, it's everything that it cost to, all the furniture costs, the building costs, I get all those chestnuts back. This will then be a blank lot, empty lot, and I want to build a tree house on it. But the reason I want all those chestnuts is I want to go buy a 3rd property. Go to services, my properties, go purchase. The house that I like that I wouldn't actually change, I would change it a little bit and decorate it, but I actually genuinely like this pre-built house, so I want that house. But you see, it's 186,000 chestnuts. I've only got 88. But if I demolish that other property and recoup those chestnuts, I can then go immediately buy this. And then as I build up my chestnuts, that blank lot, that empty lot, I want to build a tree house there, and I'll use chestnuts as I slowly get them to build a tree house on that empty lot. So that's my plan at the moment. Once again, free to play, 2 months. Had not spent the money on different properties like I am and just saved it, I'd be very close to being able to buy the mansion. So that's free to play, the housing. Let's next talk about the avatar. Let's start with the wardrobe. Go into wardrobe. And there towards the bottom right, it says image slot. You have 3 avatars that you can use. You can freely go between those 3 avatars. As you see, I only have 1 avatar showed. This is all free. So they used to make you pay to change the way you looked. Go to design room, bottom left, and then we're going to go down to bottom right, reshape look. But now it doesn't cost anything. I'm so glad they made this free. You don't understand how happy this makes me. This is so important. Once again, just like I said, the dye is very important to the creativity, the creative gameplay of Life Makeover. I'm so glad they made this free. So now if we do, I have a female, the adult female. You can also do girl. It changes the shape, changes the size. They're about 2/3 the size of the females. So they're much shorter. I want to make a little sprite using the girl. For example, let's go into reshape. Cancel. Let's go. If she was a sprite, we need to give her little sprite ears. So I would give her, that got in the way. Let's move that other way. Go to ears, and I would give her, or you can make an elf. Also, you can make a cat girl, and you get to save 3 avatars, which is really nice to bounce back and forth between. For example, if you're going to do a cat girl, you would, of course, want to change her contacts to the kitty cat contacts. So, and then you can change it. Would you give her green eyes if she's going to be a cat girl? That sort of thing. So you can really play around with your avatar, and it's all free. Once again, this is because the game needs a large, excited, healthy community for the game itself to be healthy, for the game itself to thrive. And to do that, they have got to attract free-to-play and low-paying players, and they do that by offering large portions of the game for free. All right, the last thing we want to talk about is the allies, which are Life Makeover's version of reflections. So bottom right, we're going to go to ally, and here are the allies. And SR is a little bit confusing unless you play the Taiwanese server of Shining Nikki, and this will all make sense to you. SSR is their UR, SR is SSR, R is SR. So anyways, SRs are basically SSRs. As you see, as a free-to-play player, I do not have a single SSR ally. I only have SR allies, but I have a ton of them. And I'm only missing sexy. I'm going to be getting a sexy SR very soon, and elegant. And the allies are very important for passing stages and such. We're going to go here to endorsement queen. So with just I can't show you endorsement queen. They just started a new season. I mean, today. Literally today. Oh my god. Okay, see, it says season 2, and there's today's date, September 30th. So I'm sorry, I can't show you here. So I was going to use this as an example of how my allies, the SR allies as free-to-play are plenty, that you don't need the SSR allies in order to do very well, like an endorsement queen, and to be able to pass the different stages. So I just really want to show you. Check out the art.
I'm Roy. Here are my employee's card and passport for your confirmation.
Oh my god, the art is so cool.
Sunset after the rain flavor.
Love it. Love it.
Follow me.
Love it so much. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, anyways. Free to play, you get all the SR. I'm missing 2. I've been playing for 2 months. I'm missing sexy and elegant. I'm about to get a sexy. If you get your sexies from, well, you can get your some SR allies out of here, out of Mind Travel. I just started Beautiful Lie. I'm just now starting this Mind Travel. And if you go look at the ally that drops out of here, oh my gosh, I've got to remember how to get to the ally. Is it in die? Yep, there it is. There's my sexy ally. So I'll finally get my sexy. All I'll be missing is an elegant after only 2 months of play as free to play. And like I said, SR allies are plenty to be able to do everything that you need to do. All right, so that is what is available to you as a free-to-play player using Life Makeover as an example. So as free-to-play, you can see how much of the game is open and available to me. Once again, it's because free-to-play players and low-paying players are so important and into the health of the game. And so, of course, the game companies do what they can to attract and retain that player base. So let's move on to the last thing, which is my experience as a whale. Well, since we're talking about Shining Nikki and whaling, let's head back to the V28 suit. Okay, to wrap things up, my experience. Now, once again, this is just me. Everybody's different. Everybody's personality is different. But I'm going to answer 2 questions, and that is, having played the 3 levels, having played as V0, Dolphin, and Whale, what works best for me, and how's that experience worked for me? It turns out that playing as a whale, I found that the money spent did not equal the enjoyment I got out of it. If you think of it as a scale, a balance scale, Dolphin is where I fit best. V0 was a little restrictive for me. I do have the money to spend, and Dolphin, for the money that I spent and the enjoyment that I got back for it, Dolphin worked the best. To the point where I'm not going to whale in Shining Nikki anymore. I'm going to settle back down into Dolphin behavior, and if Life Makeover ever does have a global release, I will be playing as a dolphin. So whaling is not really for me. I find that it's too much money. It costs too much for the enjoyment that you get back. Once again, this is just me. Everybody's different. If someone does whale and they're like, I freaking love it, and I love spending that money, and I do think it's worth it, then absolutely. Because there's the other end where there's people going, I would never spend money on a mobile game. That is such a waste of money. It all comes down to personality, and nobody's wrong. So it's just me. From my personality, where do I feel the most comfortable? For me, it's a dolphin. And that's where I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to start playing. I won't be whaling anymore. I'll be dolphining in Shining Nikki. And when Life Makeover comes out, I will be a dolphin. The second question I want to answer is, since I've realized that whaling's not for me, that you spend the money and the enjoyment that I got back out of it was not, it didn't balance right. The balance wasn't correct. It wasn't worth it. Do I regret whaling? And the answer, surprisingly, is no. I don't regret whaling. I don't regret that money spent. And the reason is because when I played Love Nikki, I wanted to whale so bad, but we didn't have the money. I couldn't whale. And so when the opportunity arose where I could actually whale, and I played from day one, I played from day one of the early release server, the Canadian server. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted it so bad. And now that I've done it, I'm like, oh, actually, this isn't really for me. But if I hadn't had that experience, I think like it was on my deathbed. And they're like, oh, what regrets do you have? I'd be like, oh, I always wanted to whale a game. I never whaled a game. I wish I had done that. So I don't, honestly, it sounds weird, but I think I would have had more regrets if I had not whaled than actually whaling, even though I found that the money was not really worth it. So no, I don't regret whaling. I'm not going to do it again. I'm done whaling. It's not really worth it for me. But I don't regret doing it. I don't regret spending the money. I wanted it so bad. So think of it for the amount of money I spent. Think of it as someone planning a dream wedding since they were a kid. And then they saved their money and they have it. They have the dream fantasy wedding, the $10,000 dress and the venue. And then you ask them afterwards, was it worth it? And they're like, oh no, it was too stressful. I wouldn't do it again. That sort of thing, blah, 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 blah. But do they regret spending the money? I don't think they would have, because once again, on your deathbed, you never had that dream wedding. Do you regret it? You don't know that you wouldn't have liked it. That's too strong. Not wouldn't have liked it. It's just not for you. I think the regrets are stronger if you don't do those dreams. You might do the dream, whatever it is, and go, oh, turns out this is not for me. But I think the regrets are stronger if you don't do them. So anyways, that's everything. That wraps up the whole video. What time are we at? Oh, 27 minutes. Not too bad. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope this video was somewhat useful, and I hope everyone has a really excellent week. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.